My guess is that you've heard plenty of reasons why you should buy the Square launch monitor. And I'll admit, a lot of those reasons are legit. The Square is a very solid launch monitor. I mean, for less than $700, you're getting elite data level tracking, no subscription fees, built-in simulation capabilities, which might make the Square a really good value. Honestly, it's a pretty cool device. But I gotta say, for a lot of golfers, I don't think the Square is the right fit. I think many of you would be way better off with a different launch monitor. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you the 5 big reasons I think you'll want something other than the Square launch monitor. So let's do this. All right, reason number 1, it's indoor only. This is the biggest limitation and it's not negotiable. The Square simply does not work outdoors. Sunlight interferes with the cameras and infrared sensors, and worse, prolonged exposure can actually damage the unit. So that means you're not taking it to the range. There is no outdoor use at all, period. If you're hoping for one device that you can use in your garage sim in the winter and take it to the range in the summer, the Square is definitely not it. You're gonna need to look at other radar-based launch monitors like the Mevo Gen 2, the MLM2PRO, the Garmin R10 for that kind of versatility. Or if you want that in a camera device, you're gonna have to spend a lot more money, like a lot more money. So yes, the Square is great for tight indoor spaces where radar struggles, but the fact that it's indoor only puts a hard ceiling of who this product is actually useful for. So if your practice routine or improvement plan involves any outdoor golf, then this is the wrong tool. Okay, reason number 2, the build quality is kind of cheap. Unboxing the Square is a really odd experience. The packaging feels premium with multiple boxes and lots of accessories, but the device itself is pretty plasticky and insubstantial. Now it weighs close to nothing. Seriously, it's less than a can of beer. That might sound trivial, but it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence, especially when you're placing it inches away from your golf ball that you're hitting at full speed. There's no carrying case. There's no protective cage. There's no safeguard against a shank sending a ball straight into this hardware. Trust me on this, if you hit that unit, it's gonna explode. For something that sits right next to the hitting zone, I feel that it's a glaring omission. Even the alignment stick that's meant to help you set up the device often falls out of the slot. It seems like an afterthought rather than a precision tool. And because it's so light, even setting it down doesn't feel stable. If you have a slightly uneven mat or a bump from a foot, it can actually shift position, and even small misalignments can actually lead to misreads. So does it function? Yeah, of course it does. But compared to the more rugged feel of competitors like the MLM2PRO, the Skytrack Plus, the R10, and others, the Square feels like the way budget option, like less than $500 or $400. If durability and longevity matter to you, that's a massive red flag. Okay, reason number 3, it's missing key data and it's inconsistent accuracy. The Square gives you more data than you'd expect from a sub $700 unit, including some club metrics that usually live behind a paywall on a pricier device, but it also skips the basics. There's no club head speed. What the hell? No smash factor. And dynamic loft, one of the included metric, is often widely inaccurate. So where do you find the accuracy? Well, it's great on the irons and on the wedges. Ball speed and carry numbers are spot on. But if you're gonna use a driver or a fairway wood, the numbers can drift a little bit. Not terrible, but not the kind of precision a serious player should really count on. And on top of that, the Square can be a little flaky with shot detection. I say maybe every dozen or so swings, a shot will not register. Now, that's not a deal breaker for casual play, but it might be frustrating if you're actually grinding on a session that matters. So yes, the Square is accurate enough for many golfers, but if you're chasing dependable precision across the bag, or if you rely on club head speed and smash factor to measure progress, you're going to be way disappointed. Now, beyond the numbers, the small hitting zone and alignment quirks make the Square feel a little fussy in early use. Ball placement can be slow, especially when you're moving between tee heights or changing clubs. And the alignment stick solution really does not inspire confidence, especially when it won't stay put if you accidentally knock it. All right, reason number 4, the software feels half-baked. For all the Square gets right, on the hardware side, the software is like completely bare bones. The app is clean and functional, but it lacks depth. The driving ranges are basic. Closest to the pin and putting modes are, I don't know what's the polite way of saying this, serviceable, but again, basic. And the built-in fictional courses, while surprisingly decent looking, aren't of the overall quality you find with other simulator software. And an even bigger issue is there's no shot history or session storage. You can't flag your swings, you can't build dispersion charts, You can't even track your improvement over time. So technically, you can export a CSV file, but it's clunky and impractical, and who's gonna do that, right? So this is a big omission. The whole point of a launch monitor is to track progress, and Square makes that almost impossible. So for players who actually want to use the data to improve, that's a massive miss. Now, improvement isn't just about seeing a number once. It's about spotting patterns over time. But without dispersion maps or bag mapping or trend lines, you're stuck guessing whether a tweak actually worked or if the numbers were just a weird blip and you got it right. Competitors like the MLM2PRO delivers a far richer app experience at a similar price point. Yes, I know it costs $200 for the membership and $500, so don't comment that. But if software polish matters to you, the Square feels like a step backwards. All right, reason number 5, the swing stick is a complete gimmick. For most golfers, the swing stick is probably the most polarizing feature of the Square. It's a short training club with built-in sensors that lets you play simulator golf without hitting a ball. So in theory, it opens up a new way to practice in tight spaces or even sneaking around in your living room. But let's get real. Distances tend to be inflated. Shot shapes don't even match your swing. And while it's fun for kids or beginners, I mean, come on, really? Golfers will quickly realize it's just a toy more than a training aid. But the bigger frustration is that you're forced to pay for it. Like, who would pay for that? The swing stick comes bundled with every Square, whether you want it or not. I mean, honestly, I would rather have a protective case or a lower price point than a stick. That's kind of lame. And I agree, instead of investing in stronger software, more durable build materials, or even a proper alignment tool, Square chose to bundle a novelty. That's just something about the priorities behind the product. Okay, for the right users, family, casual players, people who do not know how to play golf or don't care, the swing stick might be really cool. But for most golfers, it's just another accessory that's gonna gather dust in the closet that you're never gonna use, and it's only gonna go with the Square. So, who should avoid the Square unit? Look, the Square is definitely shaking things up. It's the first sub-$1,000 optical launch monitor. It connects to GS Pro without an additional fee. That's pretty cool. It reads putts. That's extremely cool. It makes indoor golf accessible in a way that radar units simply can't match because of room size requirements. But it's also a compromise-heavy device. Indoor only, flimsy build, missing data, shallow software, and a gimmicky swing stick. I mean, it's far from a one-size-fits-all solution, but another wrinkle is future-proofing. Right now, the Square feels so innovative. But like really, the affordable launch monitor space is evolving fast. Garmin, Rapsodo, Swing Caddy, they're all rolling out with software updates and hardware refreshes at a rapid pace. But without meaningful upgrades, the Square could start to feel outdated sooner than you want it to. And that matters if you're building a simulator setup on a budget that you want to last for several years because you're on a budget. So saving a few $100s up front isn't much of a win if you find yourself itching to upgrade just after a season or two. Buying cheap now, better later may end up costing you actually more. So if you want an outdoor range to work, look elsewhere. If you're serious about long-term improvement tracking, look elsewhere. If you care about robust software and data storage, look elsewhere. The Square is best suited for golfers who have limited space, care more about simulators fun than grinding through numbers, don't want to deal with subscription, are okay with accuracy that's good enough rather than flawless. If you're that golfer, this is a cool piece of tech at a breakthrough price. But for everybody else, there are way better options. Even if it means spending just like a little bit more. But that's my opinion. Guys, I really hope you enjoy this one. If you can do me a favor, can you let me know, have you used a Square? Do you own a Square? Am I wrong? Am I right? I would love to hear your perspective. And if you consider liking and subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. But if you guys want to see my list of the best launch monitors of the year, I tested them all, then check out this video right here, and I'll see you out.